special episode, part 1 of our brand new 4-part series, Your Breakthrough Blueprint. We were talking about having a breakthrough year, right? And it can happen at any time, right? You can decide whether it's December, January, June, August, it doesn't matter when you start your breakthrough year, but at any moment you can decide that you are ready to have a breakthrough year and that the next 12 months are going to be infinitely different than the past 12 months, right? And we're talking about that in this video series right now. We recently experienced what we would definitely define as a breakthrough year. And it's thanks to a 4-step formula, which we are going to break down and share with you over the next 4 weeks. So if you're coming in live, say hello. Let us know that you're here. Let us know that you're watching. If you're catching the replay, say replay. And if this is your first time watching us, let us know that this is your first time. Like my mom said, I'm Jordan Maylea. She's my mom, Kathy Schneider. We are the Freedom Boss Babes. And we help driven network marketers with the simple strategies to grow your business quickly online without confusion and overwhelm. Together, we've personally enrolled over 600 people into our business. We've built teams that exceed $1 million in sales volume, and we've done this all 100% online. And we're excited now to have the opportunity to teach other entrepreneurs like you how to do the same thing. So come on, say hello. And before we jump in today, we are going to talk about a giveaway. So Mom, take it away.
Absolutely. But first I want to say hello. I see Carol and Celine and Linda and Julie and Kathy. Hello, hello. And Rhonda and Cheryl and Melanie. Hello, ladies. It's so good to see all of you on. As you're coming on, like Jordan said, say hello. Let us know where you're viewing in from. We always like to know where you're viewing in from. I see North Carolina and Texas and another Texas. Gina, Debbie, hello, hello. So we do a giveaway every week, okay, on our live. Every week we like to give away something because we love you guys and we appreciate you so much. And so when you share this broadcast, your name goes into an entry to win whatever the giveaway was that, for that week, okay? And the way we know that you shared it, we really need you to type the word shared in the comments, because that's how those are the names that we pull, we put into a bucket and we, toss them around and then we draw. Okay. So, we want you to be sure and type in the word shared. Sometimes if you share it, but you don't say shared, sometimes we can't tell who all shared it. Okay. So that's why we ask that you just type it in for us. But, last week, we gave away a $25 Amazon gift card. And our winner goes to Denise Caruzzi out in North Carolina. So, yay!
Awesome.
Denise.
Congratulations, Denise. You guys give Denise some hearts. Give her some love and tell her congrats. Thank you, Rhonda and Kathy and Carol, for sharing today's broadcast. I think y'all picked up on our little secret that we're doing another giveaway today for anyone who shares this broadcast, right?
Yeah, and this one's going to be a little different, or really we're going to increase it. Okay, we're going to have some fun here, and mainly because this is really we just really appreciate you guys sharing so much, and it helps us so much. And so what we are going to start doing, and I see that Carol shared from North Carolina, thank you. Yes, Denise, I was hoping you were on live so that you knew that you won. Because I know Denise she's a regular tune-in visitor. She's here a lot. And so I'm really excited that.
Thank you, Melanie and Gina, for sharing as well. So
yes, absolutely. So what we're doing this week, since this is a special broadcast, it's a little different than normal. What we're going to do is for every time we get 10 shares, okay? And this goes from now until
next Wednesday.
The next Wednesday, okay? So it's going to run for a week until we come back again here again. So, and then what we'll do is right before we come on, we will do the drawing. But what we're going to do is for every 10 shares, and this doesn't mean you have to share it 10 times, but 10 shares, for every 10 shares, we are going to draw one Amazon gift card for $25. Okay, we'll draw one winner for an Amazon $25 gift card. So, if we get 40 shares, we'll draw 4. If we get 50, we'll draw 5. If we get 60, we'll draw. You get the point. We're just going to keep going up.
So that means 1 out of every 10 people who share this broadcast are going to win an Amazon gift card for $25.
And
who wouldn't love that, right?
Right, absolutely. So, and what I want to tell you is if you share to your personal profile, that counts as one. Then if you share, maybe you've got a group and you share in there, if you share it there, let us know that, hey, I've shared it again, because then your name, that gives you two chances to go into the drawing. Okay. So if you share more than once, of course, tell us that you've shared more than once, and you can share, whether that be on your profile or maybe it has to be a group that you personally it's your group. Okay. You don't want to spam anybody and share into a group that's not yours. You want to make sure this only would be in a group that you personally, it's your people, and you think that they would appreciate what we're sharing and what we're teaching. They would get value from it. Obviously,
absolutely.
If you're not going to get value, we don't want you doing that. So anyway, perfect. Awesome.
Thank you, Denise, for sharing, and Carol, and Carol Duncan, and Julie, and Cheryl, Heather, Lynn, Carol, again, maybe we got a lot of Carols on here today. So thank you, ladies, for sharing the broadcast. We appreciate it. And let's jump in and get started. Do us a favor real quick, drop into the comments, drop a 1 in the comments if you would love for the next 12 months to be your breakthrough year. If you could look back, you fast forward first 12 months from today, and you're looking back over the past 12 months and you can say, oh my gosh, this is the year where everything changed. Not just in my business, but in my life. I have leveled up my life in every area. I am just living and operating at a whole new level. I am doing things that I love more than ever. I am working on things that I love more than ever. I'm working with the people I love more than ever. I'm spending more time with the people I love. I'm just, everything about my past 12 months is just better than it's ever been. Drop a 1 in the comments.
Even the way you feel, how you feel about your body.
Yes, I'm healthier.
You've been moving, you feel better. I mean, everything. It's got every aspect of your life.
I look better than I've ever looked before, right? I feel better. Like, how amazing would that be, right? So we have, over the past 12 months, really experienced what we would call a breakthrough year. It's a 12-month breakthrough year. And what's amazing about that is 12 months ago, we were actually at a business event in San Diego, and the speaker up on stage got up and spoke about a breakthrough year. And we took that information home and we applied it. We sat down, we spent a whole day going through the formula and tweaking it and making it our own. And then we spent the next 12 months working the plan, right? Because you got to first have a plan, right? Then you got to work your plan. That's how this thing works. You got to have a plan and work your plan. And we did it. And what do you know, you guys? It worked. It worked. I mean, every single level of our life has gone up over the past year, not just a little, but significantly. And the best thing, those of you who know us really well, this is the best thing about it. You will agree. You will 100% agree if you know us really well. If you don't know us really well, you might not agree yet, but you will once you get to know us, okay? We aren't very special, okay? Like, there is nothing special or extraordinary about us. We are two normal Texas girls. There's nothing super special about us. We simply followed a formula to create and take action on a plan, and it all came to be, right? So we want to help you over the next 4 weeks really start to learn this formula so that your next 12 months can be your breakthrough year as well. So drop a 2 in the comments if you're excited about this video series. Drop a 2 in the comments. And thank you again. I saw a lot of people shared again. So thank you, Kathy and Charlene, for sharing. Denise said she shared it twice. So thank you. Denise says we're pretty awesome. Well, thank you, Denise. That's really sweet. We've known Denise a long time. So,
well, Denise knows the awesomeness, but she also knows the quirkiness. Like, she knows all the insides and outs of, all the good, the bad, and the ugly. So,
for sure. She does, for sure.
I think,
all right.
We have known Denise for, how long now? Maybe it's probably going on maybe 15 years. I don't know. It's been a long time.
A long time. Yeah. Long time. All right. So first of all, this is part 1 of a 4-part series, which we've mentioned. And here's the thing, you guys. To get where you want to go, you have to start where you are. Okay? And I've been there. So if you're in a place right now where this is true for you, I want you to know that it gets better. But there is a point, I think, that everybody reaches where having to take personal responsibility for where you are in your life right now kind of sucks, right? It's not the best thing. It doesn't feel great. It's a lot easier to place blame on circumstances and other people and things that have happened to us. But there's a lot of freedom that comes with being 100% raw and real about where you are right now and saying, you know what, I am responsible for where I am right now, which means I can be responsible for where I am 12 months from now, right? That is where it starts. It starts with that personal responsibility. Wouldn't you agree, Mom?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. And the thing is, I mean, it's like Jordan was saying, it doesn't matter where you at right now or what's happened in the last 12 months. Okay. But once you get down to the bottom of it and you figure out what you've done right, what you've done wrong, what you've done mediocre, where things are, and then where you want to go. And once you really get those things down on paper, and like always, you know, we always provide a printout. So we're going to give you where you can access this in a minute. But when this is like the exercise that we did. Okay. This is exactly what we did. And so step by step, we didn't leave anything out. And this little thing that we're going to give you later, it's 9 pages long. So, I mean,
9 pages.
It's some work, but I'm going to tell you, it walks you by the hand step by step. Okay. It's not hard. And you can probably finish it in in less than an hour. Okay. So would it be worth having a breakthrough year for an hour's worth of planning? And yes, there'll be some more stuff that we're going to be giving you over the next few weeks in the next videos, but it all starts with deciding where, you know, like looking at your past, looking at where you're coming from. Okay. So what happened in the past and what do we need to do from this point going forward?
And I love that phrase, that it's so much more than just evaluating where you are now. Mm-hmm. It's where you're coming from 12 months from now, because 12 months from now, the longer you have to go, the further you will have come, right? So when you look at it that way, and it really all starts with what we like to call your lifestyle wheel, okay? So drop a 3 in the comments if you've ever heard of anything like the Wheel of Life, or maybe 9 environments or anything like that. Not the Wheel of Fortune. No, that's not it. That's not the Wheel of Fortune. Drop it in the comments if you ever heard of like the Wheel of Life, right? And how you use your wheel to determine kind of where you are in all the areas of your life. This is something that we've studied and learned from for many, many years, but we have adapted it to really fit what we believe, and you can agree or disagree with us, but what we believe to be really the best version of the Wheel of Life. Okay, so we call it your lifestyle wheel. This is a Boss Babes special, and this is what it really means. Okay, so think about a wheel, and you can think about a car wheel, but I like to picture more of a bicycle wheel. Okay, and on your bicycle, I don't ride a bicycle, by the way, so I'm not a very good one to give examples of this, but I can picture it. I used to ride a bicycle when I was little, and at the center of the wheel is the core, right? You've got the core of the wheel, and that's like it's your hub, right? It's everything connects. The hubcap. You've got your hub, and then coming out from your hub, you've got spokes that then connect to the wheel, okay? So your hub is the most important piece of your wheel, because without the hub, everything else just caves in on itself, right? Everything else just falls apart. It can't stand. Your wheel can't roll. But then the second most important part of your wheel is the spokes, because without the spokes to support it, your wheel won't roll evenly across the ground, right? It's going to have lumps and bumps in it. It's not going to be an actual circle. So what we're going to talk about today, and what you're going to find inside the assessment that we put together for you to download and use, is this wheel assessment, so that you're not just evaluating your business. You're not just evaluating your income, right? I've been there. I've been in the place where, back in the day, we were making lots of money. But almost every other part of my life was pretty crappy, and this was about 3 years ago. And it's not a fun place to be. People say money doesn't buy happiness, and that's so true. Money gives you options, Money takes problems and turns them into inconveniences, right? There's a lot of advantages to making a lot of money, but it's not the only thing. It's not the most important thing. And so we don't want you to just have a breakthrough year in your business. We want you to have a breakthrough year in your life. So that's really where this starts. So with you, and you are the hub of your wheel. All right. So Mom, you want to talk about kind of what the hub of your wheel is, kind of what that starts with and what that comes from as far as your thoughts and your beliefs and all that good stuff?
Absolutely. So, and I've got notes here to make sure that I stay on track, because we never want to we want to make sure that we really give you all this information really clearly. So, so if I'm looking down, you at least understand that I'm definitely talking to you guys. So, you, okay, like Jordan said, you, what is that? That is your mindset. Like she said, it's your beliefs, okay? It's your thought patterns. And those thought patterns, they actually determine every other single aspect of your life. I mean, we know that, right? Because it's what we think, what we believe, all of those thoughts, that's really, that affects every area of our life. And so we find that, you are improved or you aren't improved, which is, what's the opposite of not being improved? We don't even want to go there, right?
No.
You are improved by the information that you choose to consume. Okay. So that's the things that you read, the things that you watch, the things that you listen to, all of those things. So it's, what's coming in. Okay. So what's coming in, and we always, we tell our kids this, and I know you moms out there can relate. If you've got kids and there's certain maybe TV shows that you don't want them watching, or when they do watch them, what do? When a commercial comes up, they jump up and they start imitating whatever it is they've been watching. So what's coming in is how people then many times what ends up coming out. That becomes kind of who they are. And the same is true for us as adults. Okay. It's the exact same thing. If we're listening to, books that are helping to improve us, it improves us. But if we're always just, reading comic books as an example, or maybe we're reading the newspaper in the news, which isn't very popular anymore, but let's say you're just watching the news even on the internet, what happens? It kind of gets you down and discouraged. Mm-hmm. It's not uplifting. It doesn't make better. So what comes in makes what comes out. Okay. And it's very simple, but I think it's so easy to forget that. So it's like, what are you doing all day? Scrolling Facebook and reading negative comments. You have people, we're going to talk about all of these things, but it's really, you've got to really protect what's coming in. It really makes a difference.
Well, and you're never going to outlive your own self-image, your own beliefs, and the way that you believe things about the world, right? So if you believe that failure is, wrong, that failure must be avoided, then you're going to do everything you can to avoid failure. Whereas if you adopt the opposite mindset, that failure is a step on the way to success, then you're going to fail faster. And you're going to try to, I try to fail at least 5 times a day, usually get to it before lunch. You got to fail in order to succeed. That's just part of the process. So when you start, but it took me a while to get there. I used to not believe that. I used to not think that way. But you've got to invest in yourself. And, your hub is the core of your entire life. And so you've got to really protect what's coming in, what's going out, and be intentional about really diving into that personal and professional development in all areas of your life that you're wanting to improve on.
Absolutely.
After that, we get to the spokes, okay? And we've got several areas of your life that are all equally important, okay? And we're going to just break them down for you real quickly here. The first is your health, right? You can't underestimate the importance of your health, right? What good is it to have all the money in the world if you're too sick to spend it, right? That would be pretty awful. And your health comes down to how much you're moving your body, what you're putting in your body, and how much sleep you're getting. And I'm going to tell on myself for a minute this hilarious story that Chris and I experienced last night. I was so tired. Last night. It was about 9 o'clock. And I was like, I've got to go to bed. And he's like, why are you so tired? I don't get it. And I said, well, we haven't slept enough the last 2 nights. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, we went to bed after 11, 2 nights in a row. He's like, Jordan, we slept till 7. We got 8 hours of sleep. And I said, I don't care. That's not enough, right? I've got to, if I go to bed at 11, I can't function the next day. I can do it for a couple of days, but then after that, I got to catch up. And he made fun of me so hard all night. He was like, oh my gosh. He's like, how old are you? 80? So I'm going to poll the audience. What time do you usually go to bed at night? What time are you a night owl? Are you a morning person? Type into the comments what time you usually go to bed at night. I'm hoping for some 8:30ers in our group, like me and mom. But yeah, now that I'm married to Chris, we usually stay up till about 10:30. That's our compromise time, and I can usually deal with that. So yeah, health, what you're putting in your body, how much you move your body, and how much rest you're giving your body. Okay. So then the next area, I'll let mom talk about that.
Yeah, and it's business, okay? So, and if you don't have your own business, maybe you have a job and you're watching us, we welcome you as well. We love everyone. It doesn't have to be only business owners. So maybe it's what you do for a living, okay? Whether that be your business or maybe you have a full-time job and you also have a little side gig, a little business that you do on the side as well. Maybe it's your part-time thing. So what you do for a living. And this, like Jordan said, it can be all, it can, just like health can be, your business can be a variety of things. Okay. So it's includes any income that you earn that's coming in, but it's also, and this is like, I think so many times we forget and we leave this out when it comes to business, but it's your time and stress levels that are related to your business. Okay. So does your career, does it add or take away from the other parts of your wheel? That's something you've got to really think about. And so when you get this printout here in a little bit, when you go grab this, we want you to really, when it comes to business, think about overall. Okay. So think about what you do for a living. And then we want you to think about, like, does this make my life better or is it making my life worse? And we all know that sometimes a business goes through some slow times before it gets better. That's okay as long as you're seeing a trend of it getting better. Okay. Mm-hmm. And if not, we want to figure out why. We want to fix that. So, and I'll let Jordan talk about wealth.
Yeah, so wealth is the next one. So I think too often wealth and business get lumped together in the same category, and they're not. They're very different, because I've known a lot of people who make a lot of money who are not really financially free, right? And I was taught a long time ago that financial freedom means that your passive income exceeds your monthly expenses. So think about that for a minute. Your passive income exceeds your monthly expenses. It doesn't matter how much your income grows if your expenses grow just as fast, right? And so wealth has more to do with how you take care of your money. It has as much to do with that as it does to, how much money you actually make. So are you saving and investing, or are you spending everything that you make? Are you living within your means? Are you living on credit? And these are uncomfortable things to talk about, but they're really important to be honest with yourself about, right? Also, are you financially responsible? Do you pay your bills on time? Do you waste money with late payments because you don't have things set up on auto draft when you could? There's so many little things that go into this. That by systemizing and being intentional with things, it becomes a lot easier, and you can really raise that bar significantly regardless of how much money you're making, right? You can still be very, very responsible with your wealth regardless of what that number actually is.
Absolutely. And another spoke on your lifestyle wheel is spirituality. And we're not talking about religion here, okay? We're really all spiritual beings, and I think we can all probably agree to that. And that's regardless, like I say, if you're religious or not. But spirituality is about tapping into the spiritual side of being. So this would be through reading, through journaling, through meditation, maybe through a local community or an online community. It doesn't necessarily have to be something you do local. It could be something online. But where are you at in that part of, that's another area that we've got to make sure that we've got enough of, and that we're happy with where we're at in that area of our life. And those of you that maybe have just tuned in, I see we've got some new people who have just jumped on. Want to remind you guys that when you share today's broadcast, what we're doing, for every 10 shares, we're going to be giving away a $25 Amazon gift card next week. Okay. So if you do share, make sure that you type shared in the comments, because we want to make sure that's the way that we'll know that you've done it. And I know we've got some new people that jumped on, or names at least, people commenting that I hadn't seen before. So I want to make sure that y'all were aware of that. Okay.
Yes. What about share.
Relationships, Jordan?
Yeah. So relationships, you've probably heard this before. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. right? I heard a different variation of this the other day. You become the average of the 5 people you listen to most, right? So that's encouraging as well, that we can control who we listen to most, sometimes more than we can control who we spend most of our time with. However, it's really important to be very, very protective of your relationships. And this is one of the easiest things to say and the hardest things to do, right? Because sometimes people are just toxic, right? They're just toxic. And they are draining on you more than they are inspiring you. And relationships are a give and take. And you've got to be a giver in all your relationships, your romantic relationships, your friendships, family, coworkers. You've got to be a giver. But you also, I know as women, a lot of times we sometimes give too much, right? And we allow people to take too much from us without really having the opportunity to refill our own cup, right? So I want to really stress, evaluate your relationships, evaluate your romantic relationships, your friendships, your family members. I mean, I'm sorry, we have family members we don't talk to anymore because they're just toxic, they just are. And it's like you give them 3, 4, 5, 6, a dozen chances. And finally, one day you just say, you know what? I'm done. That's enough. Like every time I see you and talk to you, I feel worse than when I did before I saw you. And eventually you just say, I'm done. That's enough. And it's okay to do that, right? That's where you have to give yourself permission that that's okay. So really evaluate your relationships. Are you around inspiring, positive people? And not just your physical relationships, like the people you see in real life, but your social media relationships. I unfollowed a few people about a year ago, unfollowed people who every time I saw their post, I felt, it made me feel bad. It reminded me of, something in my past that I didn't want to be reminded of anymore. Or, every time I would see them watching my live or doing something like that, it would make me nervous. Right. And I was like, you know what? Why am I allowing these people to have, control my thoughts, my feelings, when really getting rid of that is just an unfriend button away, right? So easy. Just unfollow, unfriend those people. You don't have to see their stuff. And so, and I do that all the time. My mom does too. If you've got somebody who's just negative and draining and complaining in your newsfeed, just get them out of there. It's not that hard. So that's a really, really powerful one as well.
And then your physical environment. So we're not talking about, if you live in the fanciest house or drive the fanciest car or the most expensive. Okay, it has nothing to do with that. I think back to a couple that we knew when we first got married. This was an older man and older lady, husband and wife. And I mean, they were the sweetest couple. They did not have a lot of money. And they, like I say, were older in life already. But I'm going to tell you, their house was immaculate. It was probably one of the least valued homes as far as like on the tax, brackets, like with the city and all of that in the town. It was a very, very small house, very old house. But I want to tell you, I mean, they kept it up, the trim always painted. They kept the yard clean. There was no trash around. When you walked in, that house was always spotless. They were always doing little projects. They were, in the spring, they were going to they cleaned their windows and took the screens off and dusted out. And their car, same thing. It was an old car. I mean, it was completely paid for. But that gentleman, he kept, you know who I'm talking about, Jordan, Adolph and Marcella. And Adolph kept that car spotless. I mean, if it got dirty, he was going to go wash it the very next day, and he washed it himself in his yard. He would not even, spend the money at the car wash, but he made sure that he took care of things. And that's when we talk about, so your physical environment, it doesn't mean that you have to have money to do those things. You just have to take care of things, okay? So, like I said, they don't have to be expensive or anything, but they just need to be tidy. They need to be organized. You need to make sure your home is not cluttered. As I say that, and I look around my office right now, I'm talking to myself. It's Christmas time. I've got stuff everywhere, and it's driving.
Drop a 4 in the comments if you just feel better when your house is cleaned up. Drop a 4 in the comments, like when the laundry's clean, the house is clean, the clutter is put away. Just drop a 4 in the comments if you feel better. I'm not saying it's always done, right? Just drop a 4 in the comments if you feel better when it's that way, right? Super important.
4 times 10. Like, I have to make my bed every morning. There's just like, it just makes it, and I've got to unload the dishwasher. and load the dishes into the dishwasher. I want my kitchen clean. I want my bed made, even if doesn't matter if anyone else is around, doesn't matter. It's for me. I do it for me, and I just function better. It just makes a difference. And that is like, that's my office.
You know, one good thing about making your bed every morning, you can control that every day. No matter what else happens throughout your day, you can control that. And I got in the habit of doing this a few years ago when I was going through my divorce. And I was really just kind of down and not, I wouldn't say depressed, but kind of down on myself. I wasn't super happy with where I was in my life at the time. But every morning I got up and I made my bed. And it made me feel good. And it put me in a better mood. And it was like, no matter what happens today, my bed is made, right? And so it's really a powerful thing to do. You set the tone for the rest of your day by simply doing that, right? Super cool. So the last area that we're going to talk about is fun, okay? Fun. And quick reminder, if you're coming on now, for every 10 shares we get of this broadcast, we're giving away one $25 Amazon gift card. So if you want to be entered to win, all you have to do is share this broadcast and then comment that you shared in the comments, and we will get you entered in the drawing. We're going to draw next Wednesday. But yeah, what good is life without a little bit of fun, right? We definitely work hard, but we play hard too, right, Mom?
Well, and I didn't used to be that way, guys, and I'm still. It's the thing I struggle with, and I have to make myself do. I am not like but I always enjoy it. Okay, I always enjoy it, and I was like, man, we should do these kind of things more often. But I have to schedule it on my calendar. Like, I have to make time to do fun stuff because I love what I do so much. I love my work. To me, my work, I've always said, oh, well, I'm not working. Like, I love this so much, it doesn't even feel like work. But that's not okay. Like, you've got to do, and I remember one of my mentors telling me one time, way back in the early days when we were talking about this, and I was kind of arguing with him about, I was like, but I don't like to have fun. I mean, I don't like, if I don't enjoy it, then why should I do it? Like, I don't like to watch TV. I don't like going to movies. I know I'm weird, but I don't like doing those things. And so I argued with him, and he said, take the word recreation, and he broke it down and he wrote it out on paper, and it's recreate. And then he went on to say, he said, people that don't ever they don't ever want to have fun. He said, you know what that makes you? And he just was looking me in the eye, and he goes, Kathy, that makes you boring. And I was like, oh, that is an insult. He just said, no, you've got to learn to have fun. And this was actually at an event, and he was there speaking at that event. And he said, you've had a blast. And I said, yeah, but this is work. Like, I'm at this event because this is my work, and I love it because of that. And he said, well, that's all well and good, but when you get back home, you need to schedule in regular, consistent blocks of time to do things that are fun and things that are, with your family. And I'm like, well, my family understands. They know what I'm like. They know, and he's like, no, you've got to have fun. So it's really, and I'm going to tell you guys, it does make a difference. It really does make a difference. And so, so I want to encourage you, if you're like me and you're a workaholic and you love what you do, and that really is what that jobs you up and gets you all inspired, and it's like that's where you get your energy from. That's all well and good, but you've got to find some things that you can do that you just do for fun. That it's not, it has nothing to do with business, has nothing to do with work. It's got to be for fun. So you got to put that into your life.
So here's the thing, you guys. We're going to wrap this up. We're going to go ahead and put on the screen the link where you can go and grab your year in review assessment, okay? And what it's going to help you do is evaluate where you are in every area of your life that we've talked about today, starting with you, and then all the areas around that combine to make your lifestyle, okay? So if your lifestyle right now isn't what it's all cracked up to be, it's not what you hoped it'd be, it's not what you envisioned it to be, I want you to know that's okay. I was right there just a few years ago. I was right there. And even a year ago, I was a lot closer to there than I am right now. And it's amazing. We often overestimate what we can get done in a day, but we underestimate what we can get done in a year, right? So I want to encourage you to go download the assessment and really get clear about where you are right now And this is going to set you up for success throughout the rest of the series. Okay. So throughout the rest of the series, we're going to talk about the next 3 steps in the Breakthrough Year Blueprint. Okay. But it all starts with getting really serious about where you are right now. So if you'll go to freedombossbabes.com/breakthrough1, you'll get a full recap of everything we covered today. And you'll get access to our 9-page year in review assessment. You guys, it is super good. There are charts and graphs, and you guys should have heard my mom. My mom doesn't cuss, but I bet you she was cussing at me this morning because I made some changes to those graphs that she had to redo at the last minute.
Tell you a fun story. You say, like mother, like daughter. So we're working on all this, and Jordan had told me, she said, I really want to use my graph. Like, this is one that I created a while ago, and like, it's the best. And I said, well, and she goes, no, it's the best. And I really want to use it. And I said, okay, fine. So she sent it to me, and guess what? She left fun off of the chart. And I noticed it, and I thought, well, that's weird, but I did not question it because I was like, she said, and I was like, okay, and we give and take. You pick your battles, right? I was like, well, I guess she's just not going to let you guys have any fun. She left that off of the chart. It's not a part of it. And so I create the whole thing, multiple charts. You'll see all these when you get in here. Get it done. Stayed up a little later than normal and got it done. And then this morning I get a text, and she goes, oh, I left fun off. I don't know how I did that. I was wondering, would that be very hard for you to fix? I just wanted to strangle her. I mean, literally, I wanted to strangle her. But I was laughing. I said, not a problem. I can fix it. Because
what happened is I woke up this morning and I was going over it, and I was like, wait, there's no room for horses or football on this chart.
Well,
this is not going to work for me.
I'm going to tell you all the truth. Honestly, what I thought was, that's okay, because I already told you my story. I was like, you know what? You don't need that much fun.
You don't need fun.
So I was going to use it against her. And next time she was headed to the barn, I was going to go, oh, no. That is not on the chart. Like, there is no.
I'm headed to the barn. I'm going to ride my horse as soon as we get off this video. And so I'm filling in my fun category today with that.
But I want you guys to know I did it for you. Okay. I thought, you know what? They do need to have fun in their lives. It's important that they have fun in their lives. And the real reason I stopped and redid every single chart on this 9-page worksheet.
Because we don't want you to be boring.
No, we don't want you to be boring. We want you to recreate, get some recreation, and have some fun. And so, anyway, I hope those stories make you laugh. Anyway, if it makes you laugh, drop a smiley face in the comments or something. But anyway, we love you guys, and
don't forget to share for the drawing. We're giving away a $25 Amazon gift card for every 10 shares that we get on this broadcast. You have a whole week. So if you share, drop into the comments that you shared. If you share more than once, say maybe you share to your profile, you share into a private group that you have, let us know about that. Share with your team. That's a great place to share.
We're up to 19 shares already. One more. And we're going to have 2 gift cards. And I know we're going to get a whole lot more between now and next week, but we're just 1 share away from right now on the live from getting it up to 20. So I think we can do it. Someone else just needs to share that hasn't already, or share to a second spot if you can. If you got value, okay, or even if we just made you laugh, okay, like if you had some fun, if this was your fun for the day, then you can share it. How about that? All right, guys.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for being here. We will be right back here, same time, same place next week.
So we got number 20. Awesome.
Thanks, Elaine. Yeah, so we'll be right back here, same time, same place next week for part 2 of your Breakthrough Year video series. We can't wait to see you there, and have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.